Hello viewers and potential subscribers, I'm UnknownEmerald and in this video I'll be showing you how to not exceed your light map limit. So let's get to it. Blocks, they take a big chunk of your light map, but you can turn the light back off. You don't want to do that, do you? You kind of want to have the nice little dynamic shadows that they generate. So some of the objects do not have the light bake option. You cannot turn it off because there is no option to turn it off, but they still generate dynamic lighting. One of those objects is a ramp, 32 by 60 by 16. I can put as many of them as I want on my map and they will not add to the light map limit, which is pretty nice. So if you have a big chunk of the map that you need to fill in with walls or ceilings or floors, just use those ramps. They still generate the light and they look pretty nice. For example, the flooring over here, I used those ramps for the floor and they looked pretty decent. Lights. Objects that generate light of their own do not need to bake lighting either, because you actually don't see them generate lightings. Let's say you have about 20 of those lights. If you select all of them and you turn the light bake to off, you'll save about 2 or 3%, which may not seem like much, but towards the end of your map when you start to add a lot of aesthetics onto it, it will really be a lot. So just keep that in mind when you put a lot of lights on your map. Crates, my big friend crates. On Halo 4 they used to be the most used object. The big ones, let's say I have 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 of them is literally 1 or 2%. They take a big chunk of your light map. Of course you can turn off the light bake, which you kinda don't want to do. You want it to continue generating shadows and have dynamic lighting. So over here I have a very quick cheat. I simply use a smaller crate. I use the half and I stack them up. Let's say I have 2 of them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can put, oh dear, I can put a lot of them onto the map. So I can do a lot more with half crates rather than a full crate. Moving on, I have a block. The 4x4 by 64 tall is actually more than 2 of the 32s. So let's say you have a column that you want to put on the map. I would use the 32 tall instead of the 64 tall. The 64 actually take more of the light map. So if I spawn in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, that's 1%. And over here, I can spawn 11 of the smaller ones for 1% as well. So I had a little experiment actually. So I generated 3 of those and 3 of those and 11 of those, and that was 1% for each. So if you want to use columns, just use the 4x4 by 32s instead of the 64s. Moving on, some smaller columns you can use, and yeah, once again, all of those were 1% as well. So that's 1%, 1%, and a 1% for those. So yeah, just keep that in mind for when you want to put columns on your map. Trapezoids, none of those generate any light either, so they're exactly the same as ramps, which is pretty nice. Same goes for all those cylinders, so you can have a 32 diameter by 16 half, then 32 by 32 by 12 half, a quarter, and the eighth. Also, crates, small crates, well I should say large crates, but they're not actual large crates, you get the point. Those do not generate any light, fusion coils do not, and the explosive barrels do not, and the normal barrels do not either, which is pretty bizarre. I was expecting those to generate the most kind of, because they are very interactive and all, but they do not take anything when you put them on phased. They just don't take anything. And also frame rate, they do not cause any frame rate issues either, which is pretty surprising. I'm actually pretty surprised with that. So I hope this thing came in useful. I'm sure there's more objects that have the same effect as those trapezoids, for example, that do not bake any light but still have dynamic lighting. But there's 1700 objects to go through and I simply do not have the patience to go through every single object. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this came in useful. So I'll see you guys next time. So see you. Boop.